One way to make plastic buttons uses a multi-layer sheet of synthetic resin, hence the industry term sheet buttons. Workers start by mixing liquid polyester resin with a catalyst to gel it. They pour the material into a revolving drum, which disperses it evenly. They spray a solution containing an ultraviolet pigment on this first layer only. You'll see why later on. For this particular model, they make grooves in the resin while it's still malleable. This will create a design. After about 5 minutes, the resin gels, and they can mix and add a second layer in a different color. Besides building up the thickness of the sheet, the resin flows into the first layer's grooves, creating a design of contrasting lines. Once this second layer gels, they mix and pour in a third color. The drum spins for another 10 to 15 minutes until all the layers cure. A resin sheet can be comprised of up to 4 different color layers. Workers can now remove the sheet. It's hardened enough to be cut into buttons, but it's still flexible enough not to crack when cut. Now they feed each sheet into a press that's outfitted with a die for that particular button model. The press punches out circles in the diameter of the button. These circles are called blanks. You can see the different color layers. The blanks move on to the machining center, where they'll be transformed into buttons. Automated equipment loads them onto carousels, the back of the blank facing outward. How does the loader know which side is which? Well, remember that ultraviolet solution the worker sprayed onto just the first layer of resin? A UV detector scans each blank to make sure that first layer is facing upward. If it isn't, the machine rejects the blank, then flips and reloads it. The carousels first run the back of the blank against a series of cutting heads. The heads are changed according to the model being produced. For this one, the heads gradually carve a curved back. The equipment then transfers the blank onto a second carousel, exposing the front side this time. Again, a series of cutting heads gradually carve the front of the button. The shape of this model exposes the different color layers underneath, creating a veined effect. The last cutting head drills the holes. Here you can see the full progression from blank to button. Now they polish the buttons for several hours in drums containing abrasive ceramic stones and pumice. Then workers flush the drums with water. The heavy polishing stones sink to the bottom. The lightweight buttons float to the surface and spill out. The buttons then go into drums that contain silicone wax and thousands of tiny wooden pegs. While the drums spin, the pegs act as a carrier, distributing an even coat of wax. As the buttons exit the drums, the pegs are screened out. From here, plain buttons are often custom dyed to match fabric swatches provided by clothing manufacturers.